Ever since Xiaomi burst onto the scene, they've continued to make great strides with pushing the boundaries with their smartphones. Just this past year, we got the release of their newest line of phones, the Xiaomi 15 and the Xiaomi 15 Pro, which were released to very positive reviews. Many people even garnering it as one of the top Android phones out there. The fact that it's even getting that mention should make Samsung and other Android phones take note. But now we're looking forward to what the Xiaomi 15 Ultra will be like. We are getting news and rumors about what the specs are going to be from this phone. So in this video, I am going to take a peek under the hood to see what some of those specs are for the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. But before we take a peek under that hood, if you are new to this channel and enjoy staying up to date with the tech news, then you are at the right place. Do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit the like button if you enjoy this type of content. All right, let's take a look at what we got here. So the Xiaomi 15 Ultra specifications have leaked, tipped to feature IP68 and IP69 rating. So this is an article out of Gadgets360.com. So again, as I said before, if you've been familiar or paying attention, and you probably are if you landed at this channel, you know that Xiaomi has made great strides with their phone. Each year they continue to get better and better, push the boundaries. They load it up with a lot of features that some of your top other Android phones out there have it, and they tend to hit that with a little bit lower price point. Somehow the Chinese continue to get away with that. They know what to do. They know how to make their stuff very cheap, but we're not going to go into that. That's a totally different separate video. But let's just talk about what we know about the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. So it's going to be, we know that it's going to be coming out, and we're expecting this phone to probably drop sometime early next year. I'll get into that in a little bit more detail. So let's talk about what we may see here. So the upcoming phone is set to run Snapdragon 8 Elite. So we know that, but the Xiaomi 15 and the Xiaomi 15 Pro were one of the first phones they feature this Snapdragon 8 Elite chip. So obviously the Ultra will continue that as well. Let's talk about some of the camera features on the back. So we're expecting this phone to have a 200 megapixel large aperture periscope telephoto sensor and a 1-inch type main camera. We're expecting it to have, again, both IP68 and IP69 ratings. So this phone will be very durable, dust and waterproof, water resistant. So if you're hesitant about taking your phone for a swim in the pool, not necessarily the ocean or whatever, if you want to take a shower with it, do not fret. This phone will be able to handle that with no problem. So don't worry about that. We're also going to get wireless charging on this, but we're going to talk about the battery a little bit later. I think a lot of people are a little bit disappointed about what the Ultra battery will be. I'll get into that very quickly. But like I said, we know that this isn't the overall phone itself is an improvement on what we've seen from the Xiaomi 14, which again had like 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes variants. We expect the Ultra to also have those same features. AMOLED screen, 120 hertz refresh rate, so 3000 nits of brightness. Those were all some of the features in the 14. So we expect obviously the 15 and the 15 Ultra to have those and improve upon some of those as well. So let's talk about some other information that we have that may be disappointing. The Xiaomi 15 Ultra details the battery size won't impress. So yeah, so this article just goes on to talk about a little bit about the battery. But before we get into that, the Ultra 15 will allegedly have about the same screen size as the 14 Ultra. Also small curves on all sides and the same resolution. So expect a 6.7-inch panel with 120 hertz refresh rate and 1440 by 3200 resolution. So that would be expected from the previous one. Again, this talks about one of the cameras as well. I think that there's one more camera that I didn't mention. It's going to be a 50 megapixel short distance zoom telephoto, 200 megapixel camera, and a periscope telephoto. So camera setup is going to be tremendous on this phone as well. Now let's talk about the one problem that they have pointed out. So people are saying, well, the rumor is that this will have a capacity to the battery of around 50 milliamps to about 5800 milliamps. So they didn't quite get to that 6,000 mark as we've seen recently. We have phones that have 6,000, 7,000, even 8,000 milliamps as well. But 54 to 5800 milliamps is going to be what this phone will have. So I expect the battery life to be probably the same as the 14 Ultra from last year. maybe some slight improvements based on optimization of software. So, and yeah, so optimization within software should make this battery maybe last a tick longer, but we'll see once this phone gets out there in the wild and people put it through the test. But overall, taking a look at the specs here, the Xiaomi 15 Ultra is again one of those phones that again will be a contender for the top Android phone out there. So Samsung, Google, everybody else out there, if you're taking note and pay attention, Xiaomi is a contender, so do not sleep on those. And if you have not been paying attention to Xiaomi, you might want to take a close look on that. If you can get access to this phone, this might be a phone that you may want to take a look at if you're not so happy with, say, offerings from Samsung, Google, or anybody else. But all the specs on here, flagship level, top notch, Snapdragon 8 Elite. This phone is going to be a powerhouse. So again, I can't wait for the reviews to come out. Again, this phone is expected to drop sometime in between January or February of next year. So we will see when that comes out. All right, but that is everything I wanted to cover in this video. Again, thank you for taking time out to watch this video. If you enjoy this type of content, please do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and don't forget to hit that like button. And chances are, if you enjoy this type of content, you may have friends or family members that enjoy this as well. So make sure you share this with them. Also, if you want to stay up to date with the latest tech news, please head over to SoundStory.com, where I curate and aggregate tech news from around the web covering Apple, Samsung, Android, Google, computing, and even more tech news. And for even more tech news in video form, check out one of these two videos right here. Until the next video, guys, stay nerdy.